Another shocking incident on Beijing subway, platform elevator sinks with a loud noise. World Bank expects China's economy to slow significantly in 2024. Latest update, CCP accelerates iPhone ban implementation. At 2023's close, the US unleashes heavy blows. Experts predict imminent collapse of the CCP. It's all covered in today's China Truths. Another shocking incident on Beijing subway, platform elevator sinks with a loud noise. Following the train carriages breaking apart on the Changping line of the Beijing metro, which resulted in over 500 individuals being hospitalized, it was discovered that the escalator at the Military Museum station on Metro Line 9 had descended. Chinese netizens shared this information on December 15, recounting hearing a loud boom sound and witnessing the elevator sink, describing it as so terrifying. Online images revealed damage to some parts of the escalator inside the station. At 2:30 p.m. on the same day, according to a delivery driver who arrived at the scene, the surrounding area cordoned off. On the evening of the 15th, a staff member responsible for the escalator maintenance department of the Beijing Metro explained that the escalator at the Military Museum station was obstructed by a foreign object, causing a malfunction. While some parts were damaged, it did not collapse. The incident is currently under investigation. As previously reported, on the evening of December 14, two carriages of a train on the Changping line of the Beijing Metro unexpectedly separated, leading to the hospitalization of at least 515 people, with 102 sustaining fractures afterward. World Bank expects China's economy to slow significantly in 2024. The World Bank, WB, forecasts a slowdown in China's economy, projecting a growth rate drop from 5.2% this year to 4.5% in the coming year, citing a fragile economic recovery. Challenges in the real estate sector, coupled with global demand constraints, high debt levels, and wavering consumer confidence, contribute to the slowing growth. China's strict COVID-19 restrictions have particularly impacted manufacturing and transportation industries, prompting increased supervision in technology and tutoring sectors, leading to job reductions. The sluggish housing market has caused financial tightening among Chinese citizens. The WB report pointed out that most of the jobs created during China's economic recovery are low-skilled jobs in the service industry with low wages. In addition, the fragile social safety net and the rapid aging of the population have increased the burden of supporting the elderly on the younger generation, which has also made Chinese people more cautious in their consumption attitudes. The report added that a prolonged downturn in the real estate sector will have broader impacts and will further squeeze already stretched local government finances. China's real estate investment has fallen by 18% in the past 2 years, and the authorities urgently need to take more measures to solve the huge debt owed by real estate developers. WB pointed out that China's new home sales fell by 5% year-on-year from January to October, while the new home construction rate fell by more than 25%. The slowdown has been most severe in cities below the second tier, yet these cities account for about 80% of the country's real estate. While manufacturing investment has temporarily offset weaknesses, especially in areas such as electric vehicles, batteries, chips, and other renewable energy technologies, WB emphasizes the need for a recovery in consumer spending, crucial for sustained growth. The report suggests that despite sufficient infrastructure, overcapacity issues in manufacturing, such as cement and steel, limit the effectiveness of increased construction industry investment in stimulating the economy. Latest update, CCP accelerates iPhone ban implementation. An increasing number of Chinese Communist Party institutions and government-supported companies across the nation are instructing employees to refrain from bringing iPhones and other foreign devices to the workplace. This unprecedented ban, initiated by the CCP, poses a potential challenge for both Apple and Samsung in the Chinese market. In more detail, according to sources who spoke to Bloomberg, a considerable number of state-owned enterprises and government departments in at least 8 provinces, including coastal regions, ranging from Zhejiang, Guangdong, Jiangsu, and Anhui to Shaanxi, Shandong, Liaoning, and Hebei, have directed employees to shift to local brands in the past 1 to 2 months. This marks a notable escalation compared to the September ban when a few institutions in Beijing and Tianjin began mandating employees to leave foreign devices at home. The sources requested anonymity due to the classified nature of the directives. Following Bloomberg's report on the expanded CCP ban, Apple's stock price experienced a drop to an intraday low on Friday, falling just below 1% to $197.57 at the New York close, with further decline in after-hours trading. Earlier in the week, Apple's stock had reached a historic high. The number of CCP government institutions issuing these directives and the extent of their scope remain unclear at present. Overall, the ban presents a significant challenge for both Samsung and Apple. During a White House press briefing on September 13, a reporter inquired about Beijing authorities claiming security threats with iPhones. White House National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby expressed concern, characterizing it as part of a pattern of China's aggressive and inappropriate retaliatory behavior towards American companies. Kirby urged China to be more transparent about their actions, emphasizing that the U.S. is closely monitoring the situation. At 2023's close, the U.S. unleashes heavy blows. Experts predict imminent collapse of the CCP. Amidst the closing days of 2023, a string of alarming global developments unfolded within a 10-day span, prompting heightened concern within the Chinese Communist Party. In response, the United States delivered a series of substantial blows, marking a fundamental shift in its stance toward the CCP. Indicators suggest that the CCP regime is presently undergoing a collapse. The strongest anti-communist report, a fundamental change in U.S. attitude. In a departure from CCP leader Xi Jinping's efforts to strengthen ties with Western nations, the U.S. government and Congress, in late 2023, dealt a series of decisive blows. On December 12, the U.S. House of Representatives presented a robust 52-page strategic report to the CCP committee, representing the most potent anti-communist stance from the U.S. Congress to date. The report, featuring 150 detailed recommendations, proposes measures such as revoking most favored nation status for China, increased restrictions on Chinese overseas investment, and mandatory disclosure of significant risks related to China for large U.S.-listed companies. Lawyer Liang Xiaohua stressed that this report symbolizes a 180-degree turn in the U.S. government's attitude toward the CCP. Economic scholar Li Hengqing, based in the United States, noted that the U.S. has ceased trusting the CCP after perceiving significant losses in past collaborations. The U.S. is actively redefining its relationship with China, emphasizing political security, economic security, and human rights. U.S. Commerce Secretary takes a strong stance, labeling the CCP as the greatest threat. Beyond the congressional report, U.S. Commerce Secretary Raimondo publicly declared on December 2 that the CCP is the greatest threat in U.S. history. This statement, coming from a typically reserved official, signals a unanimous conclusion within the U.S. government that the CCP has become an enemy, not just a competitor. With bipartisan support, the White House is actively working to impede technology and investment flow into the CCP's chip industry. The U.S. government has consistently adjusted and tightened restrictions on chip exports and manufacturing equipment to China since October 2022. The U.S. has also added dozens of Chinese companies to the entity list, many linked to the CCP's military. Li Hengqing noted that through legislative means, the U.S. is gradually closing loopholes, representing a long-term change in established strategic policy. U.S. takes decisive action again on the Hong Kong issue. On November 29, the U.S. House Foreign Affairs Committee passed the Hong Kong Economic and Trade Office Authorization Act, allowing authorities to revoke privileges if Hong Kong loses autonomy. It also prohibits federal agencies from promotional cooperation with Hong Kong. This move drew CCP ire, with both the Hong Kong government and the CCP's diplomatic mission denouncing it. Hong Kong's pivotal role in the Chinese economy is threatened, especially with its special tariff status being crucial for many Chinese companies. Lawyer Liang Xiaohua emphasized the jeopardy to Hong Kong's status as a re-export trade center and Asia's financial hub. Italy withdraws from Belt and Road Initiative, expert anticipates global ripple effect. On December 6, the Italian government formally notified Chinese authorities of its decision to exit the CCP-initiated Belt and Road Initiative. Italy, having joined in 2019 as the sole G7 country participating, is withdrawing due to unmet expectations. Li Hengqin predicts a chain reaction, stating that Italy's withdrawal may lead to the withering of the Belt and Road Initiative if developed Western nations abstain. He emphasized that the CCP's extensive investment in the initiative may not yield proportional returns. Argentina rejects joining BRICS nations, CCP loses an ally. The CCP-led BRICS nations faced resistance as Argentina signaled its refusal to join. On November 30, Argentina's President-elect Milei's team confirmed the country's decision not to join the BRICS nations and to withdraw from all Belt and Road Initiative-related activities. Li Hengqin highlighted Argentina's significance as a major South American nation, equating its refusal to join as the CCP losing a strategic ally. He observed a similar balanced approach in Brazil, another South American country, which is adopting a strategic stance between the CCP and the Western world, a situation the CCP strongly opposes. Bad news accumulates, expert predicts CCP in the midst of collapse. Approaching the end of 2023, a barrage of unfavorable news has emerged, shaking the foundations of Zhongnanhai in just 2 weeks. Li Hengqin emphasized that it's not a situation where a storm is on the horizon, it's already a raging storm, and the subsequent gusts are intensifying. Social conflicts are accumulating, and the explosive energy is growing. Eruptions are already happening continuously, and the process of acceleration is ongoing. So, considering the multitude of events and incidents in December, we can expect even more in the future. He observed that signs of collapse have been evident since last year, exemplified by the depletion of government finances. With the government lacking funds, public transportation has halted in many places. Given the current circumstances, it has reached this point. How can one imagine that it won't collapse? It's already in the process of collapsing. Just watch and see, the world will undoubtedly undergo a profound transformation. Lawyer Liang Xiaohua added, examining history, in the final years of any Chinese dynasty, there was always turmoil, and a series of bad news kept surfacing. Now, these adverse developments are accumulating, indicating that the CCP has indeed entered the final years of a dynasty, with no hope for the future. In 2024, it will undoubtedly be a more hopeless year. Crucially, within the ruling class, encompassing bureaucrats, interest groups, and even the princelings, discontent with the CCP and Xi Jinping's rule is steadily growing. Despite the harsh and cruel domestic situation, people's dissatisfaction is becoming more radical. Xi Jinping's so-called authority is gradually diminishing, and as contempt for him increases, internal coups, including mass movements, are likely to transpire. Don't forget to leave a comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths.